Hi, welcome to another video. Today we have a Vauxhall Corsa 1.2, 1.4, something along those lines. Doesn't really matter. And so basically, customer is a repeat customer. She called and said that her engine management light came on. So I've just plugged in my diagnostic tool and we're going to go through and find out what the issue is. What we've previously done on this car is we replaced the battery. Someone had previously replaced the battery. Either the battery they fitted was the wrong type, because it's a doesn't ever stop start, this vehicle. Even though it doesn't, strangely it requires still an AGM battery, which is the stop start type of battery. So we've got one engine manual, okay, one trouble code apparently. Let's have a look at what it is. So I replaced it with a Bosch one, I think, as far as I remember. Got it from my local parts store. Okay, so I'll show you what this is. Switch off the light as we don't need that. So it's saying it's a history. So it's in dish ignition cycle not run, fuel trim system lean. Normally this is because of one of the O2 sensors, I would say. But then again, last time I worked on this car, as far as I remember, this exact same code actually came on, as far as I remember. And I did tell the customer at the time, but she also said that she doesn't really do a lot of mileage, very rarely. The car don't really drive a lot. So I put it down to the car not being driven much, so therefore the catalytic converter don't really get hot enough to burn enough ashes. So therefore I would say it's quite similar to a DPF setup really, where if you don't drive a diesel vehicle long distance, it ends up clogging up the DPF filter. So it's quite a similar concept, just not as bad. So most likely the catalytic converter doesn't get hot enough to burn all the ashes that are in the exhaust system. When I say ashes, it's not actually ashes, it's just the emissions. So she just needs to drive the car. That's the only reason it comes on, because the car don't get driven a lot. So what I'll do is I'll clear it. I'll erase it. And it will come back on again. There's no... I just don't understand why it actually comes on. But we will look at live data actually. So let's start her up. Actually started up much nicer than it did before. So that's great. Right, so let's look at... It's giving engine data. Okay, that's what we're looking at. I have to look at specifically the exhaust, but we'll see. So we have desired idle speed, ECT, cold startup, yes, math sensor. So mass airflow sensor is reading fine, excellent. Throttle position sensor, yep, that's also reading, excellent. Air fuel equivalency ratio command 1. Right, here we go. There's the O2 sensors. So I'll flip you around, and there's the O2 sensors 1 and 2, and they're both reading within tolerances. So it should be 0 to 2 volts, it says, and they're both reading within those parameters. Short-term fuel trim, and then the long-term fuel trim, they're both within parameters again. Other than that, I don't really see any... There's no issues. There's absolutely no issues with this car. It runs spot on, sounds really nice, it idles very well, no issues. It's just the fact that the customer just don't drive the car. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So even if I switch it off now, which I did, it will most likely come back on at some point another day when she's driving it again. So yeah, no fault codes now. Look, nothing, all clear, even though the car's running at the moment anyway. Nothing at all. That was an easy fix. Very rarely that happens, I tell you. Yeah, anyway, well, thank you for watching. Always appreciated as always. Catch you on the next one. Whoop whoop.